Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. Clayton, you want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? How y'all doing out there? Welcome y'all to the show. Gonna have a deep topic tonight. You feel me? Probably ruffle a little few feathers, but oh well.
Yeah, so this is about to be really, really interesting. Yeah, indeed. But let me get the information out before we even start this nonsense. Now, but it's going to be a great topic. But anywho, today is February 8th, 2018. It's still Black History Month. I hope you guys are educating yourselves greatly. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GST Radio Show. If you guys want to call in and join in the topic, phone number is 657-383-1155. We'll also be tweeting, so at GST_radio, and we'll share your tweet on the air. I forgot something, didn't I?
You said the phone number?
Yeah, I did, right? 657-383-1155.
The merch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you want to support GST Radio, your favorite podcast, you would go to teespring.com/stores/GST Radio and copy off some merchandise. And when you do get the merchandise, hit us up, tag us in the picture so we know that you guys support this podcast like we know you guys do because we are seeing the numbers. Willie may be joining us later tonight. He is out and about, but it's just me and Clint for right now. So Clint,
out and about. He had a Naughty by Nature concert. You know what I mean? Getting his OPP on. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm a little
Jersey.
He's doing some shit. I don't like him.
Yeah, he always doing some shit.
I'm starting not to like him. So, what's his life? I'm being real shady today.
So, man.
Yeah, but, how was your week? We're going to get into that a little briefly.
Well, I've been MIA the last couple of weeks. I actually got really, really sick. So I'm really just right now just getting over it. Mm-hmm. And, feel a little better. You feel me? So I can't complain at all. Mm-hmm. This week definitely been a busy one. I've been taking care of business, trying to run the business, but it's coming together. But what I really wanted to do, I wanted to give a shout out to my boy Brian Glinton. Mm-hmm. He got the Single Dad organization that he just started, which I think is a big deal. And he got a couple of events coming up soon, especially this summer. You feel me? Some single dad workshops. I think that was really important. He's a single dad himself. You feel me? He's actually a couple years younger than me, but I got a little quite an admiration for him because what he has to go through personally, and then raising two young boys on his own. I just want to give him a shout out, a salute. You know what I mean? So I want to take my time to do that because a lot of single fathers out there don't get no respect or recognition. So I wanted to give him a little shout out real quick. I told him I was going to do that for him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's definitely what's up. Shout out to him. That's definitely a good thing. So definitely got to shout out the good stuff that's going on, especially when you're doing something positive. And I think a lot of dads need acknowledgement, so that's definitely always a plus.
Yeah, and then, not only just for him, but the fact that he, him and his, people, they reaching out to other fathers out there that's, doing their thing. And, they're trying to help other fathers that's not quite up to par get up to par. So, I think that's dope, especially for the kids. It's really all for the kids.
Yes, and that's exactly what it's needed for.
Yeah, we salute the fathers, but, I'm only doing it because, it's for the kids. So, much respect to that.
Yeah,
how was your week, though?
My week was eventful. I actually went out on a weekday, and being that I'm only a social drinker, and you go out and drink, and after the third cup of whatever the hell you drink, because you know drinking, like you need to order somebody else's buying you drink, and whatever the bartender feel like to experiment on, that's what you're gonna drink. So.
Fading out a little bit, babe.
I think by the second drink I was drunk, technically. The third drink just kind of took it over, a little bit. But I had fun. I went to go out on a week. I hate going out on a week. But I had fun. I got a little drunk in the first time. I woke up one time. I forgot myself. Like, for the meal, you just can't I'm sorry. Am I having problems with you guys hearing me? Hold on. Let me turn my volume up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a little saggy there.
You know, I got this new phone. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to cut the bitch back on.
Hold on.
Don't judge me.
Hold on, people. Let's talk about something real quick. I'm about to get real petty for a second.
No, don't get petty, please. Don't get petty.
So a couple of days ago, right, somebody, you know what I mean, was making jokes about my phone. You feel me? But now she got her new phone. She don't know how to work it. So she claims. You know what I mean? Two, every time you turn around, it's an issue with the phone.
First of all,
I think she talking about my phone, the cricket phone. You feel me? I think she got one of these Obama phones.
Really?
You feel me?
That's where we're going with it. Actually, no. My Galaxy Note 5 finally passed away. The LED. If y'all ever had one of those phones, y'all know the LED. Something happened with the LED, so my whole screen was like blue, purple, and then it turned black eventually. So I couldn't do anything. So I had to upgrade the new phone. So I got the Samsung S8 Plus, and I don't know how to use this shit. It's different. Like, it's not like my Note. It's a lot different. If you had the Note, you know what the difference is between a Samsung S8. It's a little bit different. So I don't like it. I can't unlock my phone when I want to. It's just stupid. And I got this smart dumb autocorrect. That's what I'm dealing with. Like, I try to cuss these dudes out because they want to be petty through text, but I can't slow up for shit. Like, I'm telling them to kiss my ass and they're saying something about asking somebody something. Like, I ain't saying nothing like that. I told y'all to kiss my ass, and now autocorrect didn't change it. So y'all done been through the smart dumb phones. Y'all know.
I think that's all lies, personally.
No, I'm serious.
I would let her get it off.
No, because I do be I send messages properly, and then it
sound like you're on a flip phone. You sound like you're on a flip phone, I'll be honest.
Right now? I got headphones on. You want me to take the headphones? Take the headphones on. Quentin judging me.
You feel me? You sound like you're stepping.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
See, but
you
sound anyway. Who? I got you on speakerphone. Now I got to worry about my background, all difficult and stuff.
Yeah, I can take it.
But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to learn this phone. I press a button by accident. It's doing some shit. I got a side panel. It's all dumb. I'm not used to this shit. I wanted my Note, and I should have got the Note because I don't got time for this.
Damon's supposed to be calling this soon, so we want to shout Damon out too.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting at the phone line. It's terrible. Okay. Yeah, see, you had to have this little petty moment. Now I don't even know what the hell I'm doing with my life. And anyhow, we're gonna go to the show because we're not about to be with Clint in his petty moment today. We're not gonna let that go because if Willie calls and start that shit, I swear to God, I'm getting on the plane and I'm coming to slap somebody's child. But the topic tonight is what happened to self accountability. Where I'm gearing this towards the Me Too movement. So I know Clint, you came up with this topic, correct?
Well, I think we all was originally we wanted to talk about just strictly the Me Too movement and how it's going down, all these accusations, the Harvey Weinstein, the Russell Simmons, all these guys. You got even Nelly right now. He caught up. And, Nelly caught up in another rape case. 2 more girls came out against him. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of, everywhere you turn. You talked about the Aziz Ansari. Mm-hmm. You feel me? How that's what really started it. That right there, because that's where the accountability came in. Because he got accused anonymously. And it's hurting his brand.
Who?
You know what I mean? Aziz Ansari.
Oh,
I think I'm saying his name. Yeah. It's like he got accused anonymously, and it's hurting his brand, it's hurting his career. And my thing is, where's accountability? Where's the due process coming into all this? I think, I sympathize. I've dated women who have actually been sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, raped, molested, so, and everybody, if y'all listen to our shows over these past few years, y'all all know how I feel about type of dudes who molest people sexually. I'm not with that. You feel me? I think they should, suffer the harshest penalties. But at the same time, a lot of these women aren't taking accountability, or they're just people are just coming out like some of the situations, like with the Aziz Ansari. When you hear the story, when you read it, it's like it's really not that deep. You know what I mean? To me, like I don't think there was any sexual inappropriateness going on. I thought it was just a bad date.
Yeah, I think
a bad sexual experience.
Yeah, I think that was a bad date and a lot of missing parts.
Yeah, so now when I really came up with the accountability part was the new Russell Simmons accusation, to where I think it's like a movie director or producer. I can't think of her name right now. I apologize to the audience, but I'm pretty sure y'all heard about it. It's to where she says, Russell raped her twice. Now, the first time, he took advantage of her, nothing happened. And then she said she was doing another movie, and Russell, reached out to her, and he was going to help fund it or whatever. So she went back to him, and he did it again. She's saying he raped her again. And my thing is, it really was. If y'all really want to hear, where what really frustrated me was, I was listening to The Breakfast Club. They had Amanda Seales on there, and what's the girl on The Breakfast Club?
Angela Yee.
Angela Yee. Angela Yee was talking about victim blaming, and it really irked my soul. It's like, because they was like, when people say, well, why did she go back the second time? It's like, well, y'all victim blaming. And to me, I'm like, nah, that's not victim blaming. You feel me? Where's the accountability? Like, if that man raped you once, why would you go back the second time? Why do we have to just take her word for it? Why can't we, question her without it being called victim blaming?
Yeah,
I would never.
This is where I go with that. Like, this is where I go with that. Like, as a victim, in my particular situation, I didn't want any contact with that person after it happened. Like, I didn't expect it to happen, and it happened, and there was no way. Like, I remember shortly after that, that person was brought into my zone, in my area, to have a conversation, and I wanted no part. There was no way that I wanted to be in the same house, the same room, the same anything with this person. And I feel like, to me, that's why I kind of like agree with you, because it's like you when somebody violates you and makes you feel uncomfortable, whether it's the complete utter violation to where it gets to rape, or it's making you feel uncomfortable and making passes that you just don't want, and you just feel like, this don't feel right to me. I need not to be here. When it gets like that, you should be mindful not to put yourself in situations, or put yourself in that situation again, because if they already made you feel uncomfortable and unease because they were either making sexual advances that you didn't want, either touch you in a way that you didn't feel like it was appropriate to do, you need to be. You should take yourself out of that situation to where it's not able to happen again.
Exactly. We sort of had this conversation before. A few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, on one of our shows. I forget the exact topic, but I was making the point of, I think we was talking about the sexual liberation, and we was talking about that. It's like, with this Me Too movement, I want the woman to come out and speak out and get these perverts out of here.
Yeah.
You understand? I appreciate that, but it's also a due process. Everybody just can't. You just can't take everybody's word for it, because some of these people may be looking for attention, a payday. They may have an axe to grind, grudges. You never know. So everybody deserves their due process. My thing is when we get to the point to where, we have, like, we always talking about what the man's role. The man supposed to be a man. He's not supposed to take advantage of a woman. Not supposed to abuse his power. And that's true. That's completely true. But the fact of the matter is, and the reality is, there are no matter, like, when you're speaking about these type of men, excuse me, when you're speaking about these type of men, you're not speaking to me. You understand? Because I'm not that type of man. So, in my mind, like, I could point those type of men out to you, or I could say something if I see something wrong, I can speak up. But at the end of the day, these men are out there. You have to accept that. You know what I mean? These men are out there. You feel me? These predators are out there. So what you have to do is take some responsibility on your own end. You know, it's like now we're in a day and age to where, you know, we're saying these women could just, I should be able to do whatever I want, wear whatever I want, present myself however I want. Well, you should, but that's not reality. You know what I mean? Certain things come, you know what I mean? You're not just going to attract all positive things. There are negative people out here.
Yeah, that's why we talked about that before, about, like, how certain people dress when they go out. You have to, if you're going to wear something, not to say, and I'm saying this as a female, not that what you wear should dictate other people's. You can't control how people feel or react or want to react to what you're wearing. You can't control that, and you shouldn't be worried about, if I wear this, then this is going to make people try to attack me. That's not the consensus of what's being said. What's being said is, if you choose, like the same way, it's like if you choose to wear a more revealing outfit out to a night out in the club with the girls, you have to be mindful and make sure that your judgment is not impaired, or that you're not to the point where you can fall prey to people. And you have to understand that what you're wearing is going to cause the attention that you may want and the attention that you might not want. So you have to be alert as a female. You have to be alert of the situation. And then, like, and you know, it's funny because I talked about this with a coworker. On the flip side, it's also men that are a part of this Me Too movement, not necessarily in the sense of this situation. Like, realistically speaking, and I was talking to my coworker about this, I said it's probably way more men being raped or violated, and they don't speak up because they're men. Who, like, how can a woman, like, quote, not that I'm saying I believe this, but I'm just going to say this. A lot of people don't believe that men can be raped by women, or it's the men that are raped by men, and they're so confused about their own state of why this man did this, why was he attracted to me, stuff like that. Like, it happens in jail a lot, and they can't really voice their opinion because, or voice themselves because they're for fear of a lot of things. Of how did you let a man overpower you, like, you know, and then they question their sexuality. And so, realistically speaking, it's probably way more unreported males being raped or assaulted or
sexually harassed at the job,
or harassed, and they don't speak up because at the end of the day, they're men that's supposed to be strong. How it's like women are not looked at as predators. You see what I'm saying? So So you have to kind of understand that it flips the coin both ways, and then people can blame the guy, and it's crazy because you just never know. So you have to be mindful of those types of things because people get into that, and then as a person, I understand why people don't like to come forward because then you get like you see it. Once you come forward about being raped, they bring up your whole entire sexual history. You may have been into things like that. This is where you get the people that are like people that sell sex for a living. People don't think they can get raped and stuff or sexually assaulted, things like that. But it can happen. So you just be mindful of those types of things. And, like, not that we're victim blaming. And then, you know, I'm going to take it a step further because this is how I thought in my situation, right? And not to try to blame it, take it all on me, but I just want to kind of explain this because this is where my thought process went when we got this topic, right? So, in my situation, this person had did this prior to me, to another person that was in, like, this is a family issue. So, it happened to another family member. She spoke up about it. It got shut down within the family, right? Because, whatever happens in the family stays in the family, and that's a major problem. Okay, so that happens, unbeknownst to me. So now I'm put in a situation where I'm in the room with a known predator that I just don't know that they're a predator. And then it happens to me, and when I speak up, like to the point where cops are called and everything, it's all front and center where you can see that something has happened, reporting it. And then I was in a situation where it was like, oh, no, she's lying. This is what really happened, blah, blah, blah. Like I had the people that were supposed to protect me basically just reflected it and was like, oh, no, she just having a moment. She acting out, blah, blah, blah. It didn't happen. So the cops didn't initiate anything, and I wasn't allowed to speak to them again. You see what I'm saying? So then I found out later on as an adult that this had happened to someone else. So it stayed within the family. So at that point, who's accountable for that? Because if two people spoke up and you guys shut it down, and we were minors, and that the people that were supposed to protect us, you didn't, like, it should be accountability should fall on them too, because this is why it's happening, because you're not doing anything about it. It's being spoken up about it. We're trying to voice ourselves, and you're not doing anything. And I think this, for a lot of situations, like with the girls that were the gymnastics girls, most of them spoke up and sued the kid committee, and they didn't do anything. Like, I think that if somebody speaks up to you and you don't do anything, you should be held. You should be an accessory to the crime because you're not doing anything. And it's more likely it's going to happen more often to other people because you chose not to initiate and go further because you're trying to protect your brand or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So I think accountability should fall upon the person depending on the situation. Like you should. That's like I would feel like I'm accountable for anybody else. Anything happen to somebody else because I didn't speak up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would be accountable if I felt like this, if I found out it happened again because I didn't speak up. I would feel that way, but I know I spoke up. But in a situation where, as like people themselves, like they get put in a situation and you feel uncomfortable, like I said, and then you put yourself in a situation again, we're not blaming you for the actual what's happening, but you need to be mindful not to, like, if you felt uncomfortable with this person. That's like if I go hang out with Clint. I get a little tipsy, and he take advantage of me, and so now I feel weird. You know what I'm saying? And then so I'm not sure how I feel, but then I go hang out with him again, and then something crazy happens, and now I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. No, it's fucked up, and I didn't deserve it, but I knew from the first time that it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
I believe, like, I got a daughter. I got 4 sisters. You understand? And I think, when I talk to them, I always tell them, you got to watch your surroundings. You got to pay attention. Don't be so trustworthy. Don't think just because somebody's nice, or being nice. I don't want to call them nice. People be nice. But you don't know, they may have ulterior motives or whatever. Cover your end. Never put yourself in a vulnerable position to where you can't defend yourself, or where you can't, or where you're relying on somebody else to take care of you in a certain situation. We go back to where the girl, remember, in a hotel, we was talking about one show a few months back in Chicago, and she ended up dying in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was looking at her friends, like, wow, why y'all let that happen to her? Well, they was drunk and tipsy and out of their minds too. Like, you can't rely on other people to look after you, because that goes back to, like on college campuses to where, the young ladies, they say if a young lady get drunk, that just because you get drunk, she shouldn't be taken advantage of, which is 1,000% true. You understand? She should be protected. But at the same time, those things go on the college campus, right?
Yeah.
That's the type of culture there. You feel me? Don't put yourself in that position. That's what I would tell my daughters, my daughter and my sisters. Like, don't put yourself in that position, in that vulnerable position.
I learned the hard way that everybody is not your friend and everybody not going to protect you. They call them your friends, and then when you get too much or whatever the case may be, they might not be there to catch you.
Exactly. They may take full advantage of you. Or, sometimes, they may think that what they're doing isn't wrong. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, she might want. That's when you get in situations to where, she may want it. She drunk. She, you know what I mean? She ready. You feel me? So they going to use that against you. You understand? So you got to cover your end. And it's not victim. To me, that's not victim blaming. That's not absolving the other person from their guilt or, their savagery or whatever, their predatorialness. It's not absolving them at all. But you still have to take, accountability for your actions. Don't put yourself in that position. If I go around the corner, only thing they're doing around there is shooting and robbing people. But yet I go around there and sit amongst them, no, I don't deserve to get shot or robbed. But if it happens, yes, they are wrong. They are foul for that. But I have to think, you knew better than going around there.
Yeah.
I knew better. I shouldn't took my ass around there.
That's like joining the game and going to a shootout and think that you're just not going to get shot. It can happen.
It can happen. Yeah, don't put yourself in that situation. And to me, I don't think that's victim blaming. Now, I want to go back to because, we talk about rape and sexual assault, but, sexual harassment is part of this Me Too movement, too. And I want to get back to the double standard that you brought up about the men.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on ESPN, they got this ESPN show, like before the games and did countdown or whatever. Tracy McGrady is on there, Paul Pierce, I think Jalen Rose, and it's the white lady on there. There's always a bunch of brothers and a white lady for some reason. Her name is Michelle Beadle. Now, this lady Michelle Beadle, a couple years ago, something happened where a woman got beat up or whatever, with the Ray Rice situation.
Okay.
The Ray Rice situation. So Stephen A. Smith was on his show, First Take, and he was talking. He made a comment because he said he had to go through the same thing with his sisters or whatever, and he made a comment like, "Don't put yourself in that position." You understand? Sometimes don't be getting all up in a man's face. He wasn't victim blaming. He wasn't absolving Ray Rice, but what he was saying was facts. You know what I mean? Like, you can't beat that man. Stop. Don't try to fight no man or whatever. That's the only point he was trying to make. Now, Michelle Beadle said something. She counted it talking about, oh, he's victim shaming. He's this, that, and the third. And, Stephen A. Smith ended up getting suspended for like a week, okay? Which I thought was foul because, he ain't really say nothing wrong, in my opinion. Now, just a week ago or so much, you can even go on YouTube and watch this video on NBA Countdown where, it's this little challenge they was talking about. Where they eating the peppers, the hot peppers or whatever. And she was challenged, for like ALS or whatever, one of those diseases. So she challenged T-Mac and Jalen Rose. And I think Paul Pierce was there too. Paul Pierce did it with her. T-Mac and Jalen Rose, T-Mac was like, nah, I ain't doing it. You feel me? Y'all can have that. I'm not eating that. I'll donate some money. You know what I mean? So, her and Paul Pierce did that first. Eventually, Jalen Rose did it. Now, first, it turned me off. She looked at, she used her little white privilege and whatever. She was like, she tried to jokingly say it. And she looked at him and was like, see, you are what I thought you were. You're a coward. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I looked. I'm like, what? She is saying that like that on there? You know what I mean? And the fellas played it off or whatever. So I checked this part out. I guess it was like crackers or something there. Because I guess it'll make cool your mouth down after you eat the hot pepper. He was like, give me one of those crackers. I'll eat one of those crackers. You know what I mean? Let me eat one of those crackers. He was like, stop calling me that. Or he said, let me eat that cracker right there. She was like, don't call me that. Now you see what that is right there? First of all, that's sexual innuendos.
Yeah. So he said it to her?
No, he said to her, let me eat that cracker. It was literally a real cracker on the table.
Okay.
Her response was, don't call me that. You know what I mean? He just started laughing because what she was implying was like he was saying, you know what I mean, let me eat you out. Let me eat you. You understand? Now, say if those roles were reversed and he had a lollipop right there or something, and she was like, yeah, let me get that sucker. You know what I mean? Let me have that sucker. He's like, oh, don't call me that. Let me suck on that sucker. Oh, don't call me that. That would have been totally taken a whole different way. You know what I mean? Oh, why would he say that to her on national TV like that? You know what I mean? Why that's like sexual harassment. You know, and even he jokingly said on there, like, oh, I gotta talk to HR. You know what I mean? He was joking.
What you say?
But, you know what I mean? Nah, everybody trying to laugh, but you could see it was kind of uncomfortable for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I go to the double standard, because it's like women can get away with that. You know what I mean? Those sexual saying that. If he would have said that, that would have been considered sexual harassment. And I've been at work at jobs before where, you know, the woman there was got a little touchy with me, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, if I just walk up to them and start touching their hair or feeling on them, on their shoulders and their back and stuff, like, you know, they'll get me fired, arrested, and all that. You know what I mean? So why is it okay for them to do it to us? You know what I mean? I've been, like, that double standard is real. And what is to the point to where it's like we're supposed to accept that because we're men, even when we're put in situations to where it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that goes to your point, like, men experience sexual harassment in the workplace too. But if we speak up, we're going to be shunned because it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Why would you say something? You know what I mean? Just deal with it. To where if we was to do the same exact thing, if a man walk up to you and start grabbing, you know what I mean, touching your hair and all that, and you barely know this person,
right.
You know what I mean?
They try to walk up and put their hands up, I'm going to slap the shit out of them. What's it doing?
Exactly.
I'm saying like that. First of all, he's in my face and I'm about to slap the shit out of him. It's like,
we got a caller?
Yeah, Dame, I'll actually put him on the line. Dame, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening to Clint give a story.
Oh, okay. What's going on, brother?
Living a dream, working, living life.
Yes. So what's your take on victim blaming as it pertains to the Me Too movement?
Well, we just got Dame on the line. We got Willie too.
Oh, Willie's on the line?
What up, dog? It's Willie Styles. Yeah, what up, dog? Willie Styles. How y'all doing tonight? Got the whole crew.
Oh.
We got the whole crew in here.
I don't know how to feel about her that about Willie, and she's David on the line. Clint, let's see you 5 seconds.
See, now Damon is coming because anybody know what he's saying.
Oh, okay. So, my take on it is Larry Nassar was a foul bastard, and whoever was an accomplice to his touchy-feely self needs to be locked up with him and with that sentence. If you're a willing participant of somebody sexually assaulting somebody else, you should get half of whatever you're getting if they're convicted. That's my personal take on it. Second, a lot of women didn't show up or come out right away because when it comes to the sports world or entertainment world, they're hidden, they're ashamed. You see how everybody treated that woman that said that she slept with Usher, but she didn't get nothing from him? They shamed the crap out of her. It was funny, but at the time, but if you sit back and think about it, they still shamed her, even though she looked like a complete idiot. The way she came off, or the way they made her seem like she was an idiot. That's why a lot of women, I don't think, come out right away when they first see you or say something because they don't want to be that person, be victimized because them trying to do the right thing. At least that's my first take on it.
Okay. Really?
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear on what he was saying. Where y'all at on the topic?
We were talking about me and Clint got to the part where we're talking about double standards when it comes to being sexually harassed and stuff like that. But we were also talking about having accountability for when.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I mean, with I could definitely speak on the double standard, because, I think I was hearing him kind of talking about that. But the main thing that I would definitely say to that is, that men definitely, can suffer from it, can have the sexual harassment aspect of it. And the only thing is that, a lot of people don't think about it as sexual harassment. They think about it more as, just one of the things that goes on. You know what I mean? It's not looked upon the same way. We don't get the same kind of respect that way, where people will say, hey, you doing them wrong, or you treat, giving him favoritism if he does certain things, that kind of thing. And I know I've been in a situation kind of like that, but it was like you just kind of feel like it's just one of those things you just deal with. You know what I mean? You don't feel like it's something that's abnormal because when it happens, nobody's going to believe you anyway that it's sexual harassment. At least you're not going to feel like that. You know what I mean? Like somebody's going to believe you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like a person like Terry Crews, when he came out and said that somebody, had groped him, I was shocked that he was even come forward, because it's one of those things where, men get, kind of, I won't say ostracized, but you definitely get the looks, you know what I mean? And like, what did you do, or what was going on, that kind of thing. I mean, his situation was a little different because there was another guy that did it to him, but he didn't like it, and the guy I think the guy was trying to say it was like one of those things like, it was just, we were just one of the boys, how you just act, and it's like nobody wants to have nobody grabbing you or touching you, and you don't want that, so it's something that, we have to give the respect to men as well. Women definitely have the short end of the stick on it because it happens to them all the time, but, it does happen to guys too.
Yeah. Definitely, and I feel like that's why I'm saying, like, it's a double standard and things like that. But do you think that, okay, so the same applies to a dude, if he was in a situation where he felt uncomfortable, or like, not that it went far, but it felt uncomfortable, would you say that he had to have the same accountability as if he was to walk in that situation with that same person again?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like that's what we're going with the account. You gotta take up accountability. Now, like, it's up to me to set boundaries. It's up to everybody to set their boundaries. So, like I said, in my situation at my job, when it happened to me before, to where it got a little touchy feely, it's like, all right, I gotta take this person to the side and let them know, like, listen, we can't have that. I had to let them know, because if the roles were reversed, it would be an issue. My job would be on the line. Somebody would, that could be taken for sexual assault. You touching me and feeling me like I'm not attracted to you that way. I don't want you touching me that way. Now if you had those same feelings, and voice those feelings, you feel me? It would be taken a lot more serious coming from a woman than from me. So I took it upon myself, like, we gotta set those boundaries. You can't do that. Now if I don't set those boundaries and it continues to happen, at some point I gotta blame myself for allowing it to happen. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I gotta take some responsibility in that. You feel me? Whether it's positive or negative, I got to.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel you in a way on that, because I think if you do make a strong stance, especially early on when it first begins, and set, you know, the stage for the type of person you are, or the type of situation you're going to put them in, I think it can be helpful when you take that stand. But I think the problem for a lot of, I mean, especially when you look at it from a woman's point of view, a lot of the time it's those situations where they feel like they have to roll with the punches, right? You know, or they might say something, but it may not be enough. You know what I mean? And then they just kind of get, I won't say used to it, but you know what I mean. It gets to be one of those things that happen. You know, I was listening to I'm sorry.
Numbing. Sometimes numb to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you know, and I was listening to an interview with a young lady. I believe she was either on The View or I can't think of the other show. It's like similar to The View, but anyway, she was talking about how the situations that she was getting put in, it was so like infrequent but frequent enough that it was like one of those things you just kind of dealt with and you either shrugged it off or you felt like saying something would just be crossing the line. You know what I'm saying? So because it was the atmosphere that she was in. And then there was another situation she was talking about, and it went back to what's his name, Charlie Rose, and there was an interview she did with one, I can't think of who she was interviewing. I'm sorry, my memory is terrible. But anyway, she's interviewing a guy, and she's asking the guy actually about a situation that he was doing, he was in that kind of involved some sexual harassment or some kind of inappropriate conduct. And she said she, talked to or she got scolded by Charlie Rose about doing the interview the way she did it. And she said that she bought him like a bottle of wine or something. And like at first when she said it, the women in the audience kind of clapped, thinking like, oh, okay, you just, you took the high road. And she's like, don't clap for me. Don't clap for that. The thing is that I didn't take a stand. I folded. She's like, I sat there and I let him berate me and blame me for something this other man was doing wrong. And just because I checked him on it, and he comes back, not the guy who she was interviewing, but Charlie Rose comes back and checks her on it for putting it out there. So it's like you feel like the thing is that somebody's not going to accept the fact that you are taking a stand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it puts you in a bad place, in a bad situation, especially when you want, or I won't say need, I personally don't feel like you need to accept anything and deal with anything just to get by or just to make a living. But people are in that situation where they feel like they need the jobs that they have or they need the situations that they're in because they don't feel like there's any other way out. I'm in a situation right now with a bunch of people who are affected by layoffs, and there's people like me who are like, hey, that's part of the job. You just deal with it and you move on. But there's some people who are like, they feel devastated because they feel like that's all they had. You know what I mean? So people feel like that, and they don't know any other way around the hard situations they're put into, the rock and the hard place they get put in between dealing with sexual harassment or dealing with abusive bosses. It's not always only sexual. Sometimes it could be being berated or being yelled at for no reason, and the outrageous antics that some of these people do, because they got a little money or they got a little power and they go crazy. So a lot of times these people, because when there's something that you think is normal for that person, you, like you said, Clint, it gets numbing for you because you just start to deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. No, I agree with Will. The double standard is one of those catchy ones, especially for guys like Terry Crews. I was in the similar position like Terry Crews, where I was assaulted by a manager that was a male. And I told the immediate supervisor above him, and there was nothing that she could really do at that point because he already had quit. But, you know, I don't know if I could take it any further. I was kind of pissed. I didn't know what to do. I actually put a hole in the wall because I was so pissed I didn't know what to do. I thought about going to his house and doing something reckless, like, you know, having his head stumped in, but I just let it go. As far as women concerned, no, they get it 10 times worse because for some reason the predator always puts it off with their faults for, you know, for dressing that way, smelling a certain way, smiling. You can just come in, you know, butt drunk and, you know, it's still your fault. Yeah, I don't know how women deal with it. Yeah, I applaud women who can, who actually stand up to these bullies like the way they do.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the ones who don't have the strength to.
Yeah, but that's why you see cases like when you watch Law and SVU, and when they go to trial, they bring up everything. Like they bring up, and it's a lot of things like where they say the person say, well, she didn't say no, she didn't resist. Like you can like, and it's a known fact that you can freeze up in a situation and just be in a state of shock that you don't know how to you know, reply. And then with men, and then I know with men, they like their issue is that they got an erection and that they actually ejaculated. And it's like your body, sometimes your body goes against what you want to do. And the same thing like when you're ready to go and your body's just like, nah, I'm not ready. So like, you know, that's an indication of like your body is doing what it like just not doing what you wanted to do, because the situation sometimes like you have to think about it, like it just happens and it's out of your control, and you people try to justify it for whatever reason, like, oh well, if you didn't like what I remember, I watched one where the guy, and this is fictional but still it's realistic. There's a guy got raped by his what's the name, probation officer, and nobody would believe him, and it was like, how did you get hard if she had a gun to your head? Like, you would have been scared, you know, all types of emotions. And sometimes he had to understand that like she really had to talk to him like, no, sometimes your body just does what it does. You can't control it. And his girlfriend was mad, like his girlfriend was getting mad, like no, you fucked her, you didn't, like it wasn't like she ain't, like, how you get hard. And then they had to explain to her, and like for a while she didn't understand it, and it's like, no, it's an involuntary situation. And people get to that point that it's so damaging in them, they're trying to figure out, like, you got to look at it, like, from a victim standpoint, is why did this happen to me? Why did they choose me? Like, we're already going through the process of why it happened to us, you know? And then what did I do to make this happen? Because, you know, you always self-blame, you know, at times. Even when it's not your fault, you just try to rationalize it yourself. So imagine when you realize that, you know, you have to take time for yourself to understand that it's nothing you did. It's their fault. Like, there's nothing you did, and it takes a while to even process that. So imagine going through that traumatic situation, trying to process it for yourself, and then getting to the point where you understand what happened. You understand that sometimes your body responds in regards to how you actually feel in that emotional state. Understand it, accept it, and then try to fight, because you know that this is like you have to fight for yourself to get justice for what happened to you. And then you got somebody attacking you because they're digging through everything you did. If you were one of the people that just into S&M or whatever the case, whatever you're into, all that's coming out, and it's just the whole personal life out there for people to judge you. So and I get it. I understand it's hard to come out and say things, but I feel like we should. I mean, even though it's hard, I feel like we should have support groups and stuff like that, and to get you to the point where they walk you through the whole process of understanding that it's not your fault and that it's their fault, and then how you process what happened to you and how you cope with it, because that's the whole other process. You got to deal with that shit the rest of your life. These people got to go through the trial and go through what they got to do and be done with it. Like, you got to live with that. So
I think that's one of the Go ahead, Clint. I wanted to piggyback. I definitely agree with her, but I wanted to piggyback off one thing you mentioned earlier, really, because we really got to change the culture. And really mentioned something earlier is, you know, a lot of people are in desperate situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when they go in some of these situations,
I ain't talking about being raped or anything. I'm talking about as far as the work, that like survive or they're chasing a dream. So they may put themselves in a situation to where, they can be taken advantage of. Like I always go back to what I would tell my daughter or something like this, and I'm so serious with it. Like, I would rather you starve than allow yourself to be taken advantage of. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would rather you starve to be exploited. Don't put yourself in that position because you will regret it forever. That because like you just said, that's something you gotta live with forever. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself and don't. That's where it goes to victim blame. It's like Willie said, some of these people are in situations to where they need that money, they need that check. If they don't got their check, they're not going to eat.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you succumb to that and don't stand up, not only do you give that predator some validation, I mean, like, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point, somebody,
exactly.
Yeah, somebody has to stand up. So I feel like the only way to change that culture is that's what we have to instill into everybody. Like, listen, some things, are worth dying for, or worth suffering for. You know what I mean? Everything's not going to be easy. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may have to suffer. You may have to have a setback. That dream obviously is not the dream you thought it was if you have to put yourself in a situation of, them actors or actresses or models who be getting taken advantage of and stuff like that, or even if you're just at a regular job trying to get a promotion, you know what I mean? It is that valuable to you to where you sacrifice something of yourself. You got to give something of yourself that you can never get back. Like, no, don't give them that. Don't give them that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I tell my daughter, you know what I mean? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, definitely piggybacking on this culture change idea is that we have to change the culture, change a lot of different things about this culture. The one thing people don't understand is that rape culture is not about just rape, right? It's not about just being male misogynistic. It's about the mindset that demands that people just conform to the situation they're getting put in. So the situations that we judge people or prejudge people upon, we have to get out of that mindset of saying, what did you do wrong? Or what could you have done differently? That kind of thing. We have to redirect this blame from the victim over to the perpetrator and make them realize that you're doing wrong when you do these things. The one thing I think Me Too does do correctly and definitely brings to light is the idea that people are put into situations that they don't know how to properly react to at the time, right? And not even say properly. I take that back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say how to react in a way that's more self saving. So you have the situations where the women are saying, "Hey, I was pressured into a situation. I was pressured into sex. I was pressured into giving massages. I was pressured into doing X, Y, Z." And the thing is that when, like you said, Clint, they in that mindset of, I got to get this deal by any means necessary. I got to get this role by any means necessary, and they put themselves out to the point of getting exploited, and then now they're thinking to themselves like, dang, what did I do for this? Why did I do this? But by then, it's already happened, right? And it's because they've been pre-programmed to deal with almost whatever in order to make that happen, or to sacrifice, and that's. And I remember one of the Harvey Weinstein accusers even said, he even made that comment to her, is like, we have to make sacrifices to get what we want out of this life. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have to self-sacrifice. Exactly. We've been programmed that way for years, for decades, for centuries, and and I think that's one of the number one things that this movement is teaching us is that we have to change is that idea that we have to self-sacrifice to get these things to the point of demeaning ourselves or to have someone take advantage of us or to have someone violate us. It should never have to come to that.
Yeah, but
it's almost like a slave mentality.
In this new year, in this 2018, or I would even go there to say 2017, but more 2018 because that's when the Me Too movement, towards the end of 2017 and 2018. I think now this is letting anyone know that is trying to get into the music industry, business industry, or things like that. You do not have to sacrifice your body or feel pressure to do things that you don't want to do to make it in life. Like you have to, like at this point, I feel like at this point right now, you can't afford to be naive. Like you can't. You either have the talent,
yeah,
or you
not
don't.
at all.
You have the backing, or you don't. I feel like you can't afford to be naive now because people take advantage. It's just in regular life. That's in regular life, and everything.
And I think, and hopefully it's teaching the predators that you can't take advantage of people anymore, and that you can't just get away with doing people any old way because you will be called out on it, and then you're going to end up losing everything from it. So I'm hoping that this is a learning lesson. I mean, it's even a learning lesson for me just from the mindset that I've been in. I've done it before where I've told people, or not told, but I thought to myself, what did they do? Or what happened that they got themselves in this situation? And it's like, why blame them? They didn't sign up, to get violated. They didn't sign up to get, treated a certain way. They didn't sign up to be pressured for sex or pressured for favors and all this other stuff. That's not what they signed up for. They had a dream, right? They had a goal in mind. And for all of us, we all have goals and dreams and aspirations and things of that nature. My little girl, she wants to be a singer and an actress. I don't want her to have to feel like she's got to be demeaned and she's got to be violated in order to get that aspiration fulfilled, And I definitely don't want her to feel like she has to feel blamed or to be looked down upon because somebody did something to her, So that's definitely a wake-up call, I think, for people is that you got to realize that these, predatory actions and activities that go on have to be deemed unacceptable. It just has to be because we can't allow this to continue. Not only can we not self-sacrifice, we also can't put upon people our demons and our issues and create this trauma for them.
Yes, and I want to say this. I'm reading the last bullet point of the show, and it was saying, are men getting the message or going to the defensive? I want to say, I don't want to single this out to just men. I want to know, are predators getting the message that this is not going to be tolerable, like you said, or are they just going to go on the defense and try to get there? Because it's some out there that they haven't been put out there on blast. Like, are they preparing for the worst case scenario and trying to get their story together? I feel like, because I'm pretty sure there's so many more people out there that's going to be called to the carpet. But I feel like, I think they are kind of trying to prepare for the worst. Because I felt like with the Matt Lauer situation, he was talking about the Charlie Rose situation, but then you going down right behind him, like you didn't think that it could happen to you. So I think that everybody as a predator should understand that this could happen to you. So prepare.
Now, I want to let Damon go.
Now, I was going to say it goes both ways, too. Just because the Me Too movement is calling out these predators, what about the people who aren't getting the fame that they want or they so desire, and they're making false claims just to get noticed?
Yeah.
It was a report about somebody who made a false claim. I forget. Willie Styles got me, jacked up too, I guess, with his memory. Somebody made a false claim about somebody else a few months back. Then you got the whole Chris Brown situation where she tried to get him caught up. You got people who are looking to get people caught up just to get that little fame too. So it should be something against those people too, making false claims just to get your fame.
Absolutely. Because I feel like you should be charged with first of all, who's ever been brought up on these fake charges and it's not really real, and they can prove that it's not. They should file what is it? What is it called? The law list is when they falsely accuse you.
It's called libel.
Yeah.
It's called libel.
And then sue them and make an example out of them. You trying to do this? Okay, so now I'm going to file a lawsuit against you. You can
destroy somebody's
defamation of character. And like just trying to break down their brand, especially if they got a brand going and they really like a big name and you really know you lying and you just trying to take that. Oh no, you need to fight that. Like take that motherfucker right to court and get your goddamn money. And hopefully they'll be going. And like at that point, if it keeps happening, you need to start sending people to jail or something. Because that's just that makes it harder for the people that it's actually happening to. Because you know how many people that stuff happens to and they report it and nobody believes them. And you got people out here with the
right. You know, about to say you do make that crime wolf makes.
I mean,
worse. And that's what happened. That's what I didn't like about that Ansari thing, the Aziz Ansari situation, is that lady, whoever that lady was, that said that he pressured her and all that stuff, and then the way it ended up reading was like it was just literally a bad date night, and it's like you can't put somebody out there like that, and then defame them and cause them, to be put under investigation and all that kind of stuff. Just to complain about some date that you had that went wrong, and it's like, like you said, Sonny, people are suffering out here. They're really going through real situations, and you're making it. You're demeaning that. You're making that less. Taking away from those, that have actually gone through something real.
And you know what? I wanted to piggyback off what he was talking about. What he was talking about earlier is, like when he was talking about his daughter, wanting to be an actress and things of that nature. I don't want people. Too many people are becoming a slave to either their dreams. Like we live in a slave mentality type world, to where it's like. We need this. We need this. So you're willing to do anything to get whatever your dream is. You're willing to sacrifice, or compromise yourself in order to be famous, to be a star. And that's one of the things we're talking about with culture. Like that's one of the things about the culture we need to change. Like, don't become a slave to your dream, to the point to where you will compromise yourself or put yourself in compromising positions. Then, when you're in that compromising position, something happens, that shouldn't happen, but, you put yourself there because you were willing to take that chance. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things you got to change, because I feel like too many people, you got to stand for something, or you're going to fall for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to stand for something. So even when you at like a regular job, it's like, I can't, like, I know in my position with that lady, I was talking about, she was like a higher up. She wasn't just no regular common employee. Like a coworker. So it's like, when I tell her, like, listen, I was willing to sacrifice my job. You feel me? And lose my job to come at her like, look, this can't go on any further. You know what I mean? Even though I like this job, I like working here, I can't allow you to do that. You know what I mean? Because then that's compromising me, and I'm not going to compromise myself just because, I feel like this is a come up for me. Like, nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My sanity, my peace of mind is more important than anything.
Absolutely.
Your integrity too.
Well,
I mean, that's your reputation. That's your reputation in the company or in the in the professional realm anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
So like,
and my friend actually has
that's just my thing. Like, you just can't. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah,
My friend actually, he's in the music industry, and he also had somebody famous come up to him and say, "Name your price. How much are you willing to sell out, or what's your asking price, or how far are you willing to go to get in this music industry, or to act, or to do anything? You have to have an asking price because everybody has to have a price to sell out on, or not to sell out on. Are you going, like what you said, Clint? Are you going willing to fall for everything or anything? You're going to have some type of standards. If not, you're going to be out there, out there wilding, and you're going to get lost. And you're, trying to get your dream, and you might be upside down trying to find your dream. You might be in the gutter somewhere instead of actually trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve out there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true too. You'll convince yourself that something is what it ain't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that, and I know that's what happened to some of them girls. What happened to them was wrong. You feel me? Being, sexually assaulted was wrong. But, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, some of them felt I could, it, like this is my break. This is my shot. Mm-hmm. So maybe if I butter them up a little bit, maybe if I, be a little extra friendly. You feel me? Like you're compromising yourself.
I mean, they're coached. A lot of them are coached to be that way.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta do this for them, or you gotta do that. You gotta smile more. You gotta, and it's like, or don't wear such, unrevealing clothes. Wear something that shows off your leg. Women are taught to be themselves in bad situations, and that's got to stop. That's got to be changed. And I think that a lot of times, we think badly upon the person who's putting themselves in that situation, but we got to remember that somebody taught them that. Somebody told them that was the way to get ahead, or to make it into the situation they want to be in.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That Larry Nassar case.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That Larry Nassar case. One of the stories that actually came out that really affected me a little bit, because I got two little girls at home, is that one of the girls actually told their parents exactly what happened about their ordeal, and the parents didn't believe him because why? Because he's a world-renowned doctor, physician with the U.S. Olympic team employed by the state of Michigan, or Michigan State University. Unless your daughter is a habitual liar, why would she have to lie about something like this? This is one of those things that we got to check ourselves on. Like,
but see, it's the same thing. Because here's the thing about like those type of situations. When you're young and stuff like that happens to you, with any young person, they withdraw and their behavior changes. So if you know the child's behavior change, unless you're just not paying attention to them, you're not just not something you're paying attention to them, you know the child is like not their normal self, and then now they have to shut down and they're just going through emotions. So that's when, as a parent, you need to talk to your child and figure out what's going on. Like, why have they changed how they are? And then it's kind of similar situation where if you have somebody being molested or raped by a stepfather or an uncle, that somebody's living in the household. You can tell a person, but they just like, oh, no. Like, sometimes the family don't want to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they choose to be ignorant and then make up an excuse as to why this kid would lie. Because, like I said, he said, why would somebody lie about something like that? Like, that's when you have fathers raping their daughters and shit like that. Like, you have to be, or moms sleeping with their sons and all, like, just all this stuff going on. And sometimes people don't want to see it. Even though it's clear signs, you just don't want to see it. Or and so when the kid speaks up to you, like, my child ever got one time to tell me something that I'm going to believe her, because there's no way. Like, you can use, as a parent, you're gonna listen to your child and understand, like, like, see where it's coming from. Like, you can tell whether or not it's made up or not. But if you watch your child and their body language and how they're talking to you, and just how they have changed within that probably the time since it happened to them, you know, like there's, you know.
Yep.
So people need to pay attention.
Yeah, like you say, unless you're not paying attention, but you know that's the sad part. Is some people don't pay attention to their kids, or don't realize how their kids, you know, attitudes or personalities have changed after some kind of traumatic experience. You know, and that's the sad part. You know, I know, like you said, I try my best to pay attention to everything they do, every way they act. I mean, my son and actually both my kids, my youngest kids, they get tired of me asking them, what's wrong? Why are you looking like that? Why are you acting? Because I'm always trying to make sure I'm always paying attention. You know, I mean, they're going through a ton of stuff right now, but you know, it's like, you know, every time, you know, they don't smile the right way. I'm like, why are you not smiling right? You know, I ask them because, like you said, son, you gotta talk to them. You know, you gotta ask the hard questions. You know,
yeah, and not that.
I know.
I'm happy with just their pattern change. Like I know even as teenagers, they go through their emotions, they change a little bit, but that's a whole different kind of teenage.
And then, you know, some parents are in denial.
Yes.
You know, a lot of parents are in denial. And then that's why with me, you know, I try to come from the aspect from the bottom. Like, I'm not the best father. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I'm not the best father, so I'm maybe missing something. I like to come at it from that angle because I never want to overstate myself. Like, oh, no, I got it. I know what's going on. I'm on everything. I don't want to be that father, because that's when you get too cocky, too confident, and you start missing stuff because you think you know everything. You know what I mean?
Stay humble, bro.
You know what I mean? You know your daughter's stuff. You know exactly how. I already know. I'm on her. I pay attention. Like, no. You feel me? All right. I was a child. My mom and dad, they were there. They weren't together, but they were there. It's 1,000 things they missed.
Yeah,
you feel me? Millions.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's 1,000 things
especially at a certain age
that they think I didn't see. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you have to be aware. You feel me? That it's some stuff with your kids they're going through, you know, that you just don't know. You know what I mean? So and then, you know, like I said, some parents are in denial. When something happens to their kids, they don't want to accept the fact that, you know, in their mind that they failed.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't fail as a parent. You know, sometimes things happen that's out of your control. You can't control everything. You know what I mean? That's it. I know it makes it hard to accept. You know what I mean? Like, you can't protect your child 24/7. Nobody can. Unless you keep them in a cage, and then that's when you become the problem.
Exactly what I say. Right, that's it. Right, that's where you done screwed up.
You know what I mean?
And you know, I mean, I went through that with my older kids. You know, especially the ones in the middle where they were going through those teenage years. And I remember it was there was a party my twins wanted to go to. And I think they had just turned 14, and the mother kept asking me, like, hey, you know, you think it's okay for them to go? You know, she was kind of leery about it. And I'm like, look, we were 14 once. We've been through this. And, you know, 14, 15, 16, you do things, you go places. I'm like, we lucky we got kids that's willing to ask us to even go to a party and have us take them. You know, and so we're lucky for that. I was like, but then the thing is that we got to let them grow and do things and go through things. You know, yeah, we want to protect them. Yeah, we want to, you know, hopefully shelter them from being hurt or being, you know, involved in things they don't need to be involved in. But the thing is, they're going to do it regardless. One way or the other, they're going to get themselves involved in something. And if you shelter them too much, like you said, Clint, you become part of the problem, and you create a monster. You know, I remember my boss told me one day, because I you know, I'm in IT, so I set up, you know, filters and parent filters and parental controls and everything all over their computers and their little devices and stuff like that. And my boss pulled me to the side. He was like, man, I heard you talking about the stuff you had to set up. He's like, but you do realize you're going to have, like, the biggest hackers in your house because they're going to know how to get through all of that. The more barriers you put up, the more kids are going to jump over them. And no matter how high you put the barriers, those kids will learn how to jump higher. And they're going to continue to excel at getting around doing what you don't want them to do. So, and that's true across all facets of life. From going out to parties to hanging with certain types of friends to drugs to sex to whatever. The more you put up these barriers, give them the tools that they need to live, right? And that's another thing, like we were just talking about with this whole Me Too movement and these situations that we're seeing people have been put in. It's an opportunity for us to give our kids new tools in order to live better than what we were given. To be able to say to our sons and our daughters, don't let somebody do this X, Y, and Z to you. Don't put yourself in a position to let somebody exploit you. And also don't accept exploitation or accept people doing things to you or saying things to you just all sideways. You are important and you're special and you can do things regardless of who's holding the golden ticket, because there's another golden ticket somewhere else. Your hopes, dreams, and goals can be achieved somewhere else if somebody's giving you a hard time about the way they want to give it to you. So don't just accept it just because they say they're the only ones and they're the only ticket in town. They're not. There's another way. There's another means and another plan that you can come up with.
Yeah.
All right. You don't went all the way into our after show.
Right?
Yes.
That's how the topic maybe our topic's been on point. It's been that plus the after show. We about to keep this pushing. That's how it's been.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. We didn't.
So I just wanted to say.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, like, I don't want to sound, like like I don't sympathize with the movement. Yeah, insensitive. Thank you, brother. I don't want to sound insensitive, but I just want to put out there is like you gotta protect yourself. So you can't put yourself in certain situations. Can't be too trusting of people and expect them to be on the up and up, especially people you don't know. That you have no, interaction, that you never had any interaction with before. Even if you had interaction with them, sometimes you still don't know how people will react in certain situations, how they have ulterior motives or whatever. You got to protect yourself. No, it's not right for them to take advantage of you. That's a given. We all understand that. They should suffer the consequences to the utmost. But you have to take some accountability in your own actions. You have to, be responsible in your own actions. I feel like it's like I mentioned earlier, like when we talk about the young ladies on the college campus, just because she's drunk doesn't mean she's asking for it. Of course not. But at the same time, don't get drunk to the point to where you're relying on somebody else. You understand? Or to where you're at a disadvantage. You can't protect yourself. Don't do that, because then you're putting your well-being in other people's hands that probably don't have no feelings for you. You understand? Mm-hmm. No, yeah. So it's like you have to be accountable for that. No, that man shouldn't have raped you, or a woman shouldn't have took advantage of you, or however it happens nowadays. Because nowadays things are weird. You feel me? But you have to protect yourself. You know what I mean? It's this quote, from people, what he used to say, trust in Allah, but tied the camel. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, you feel me? Like, yes, you know what I mean? You have that faith, but you got to cover your end as well. You know what I mean? You have to cover your end as well. So I don't want to be insensitive, or sound insensitive, but I just want to say just protect yourself.
That's a good. I I approve that message because, like, I don't want people to listen to the show and think that we just like, oh no, it's your fault. It's not. You just gotta be like you said, be accountable for your actions and be aware of your situation. Everybody will not look out for you the way that you would look out for yourself, or the way that you would look out for your friend. So you have to be mindful that at the end of the day, you can only count on yourself to protect yourself. So just be mindful that if you're drinking, be mindful of your surroundings. If you feel like you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable, just go and just protect yourself.
Right. Be conscious. Be conscious of your situation. That's true.
Yeah. And learn from history. You feel me? It's like it's nothing new under the sun. These situations have happened over and over again. So it's telling you that no matter what, you feel me? No matter what generation, the same situations happen. You feel me? Women getting taken advantage of, you know, when they're inebriated or whatever, you know, or too trustworthy of people they shouldn't be, that they're just meeting. You know what I mean? This stuff happens over. Learn from the lesson. Take heed. Be wary. You know what I mean? Be wary. And speak up.
That's the reason why I don't like to get too. I mean, I've been drunk, but I don't like to get too drunk because you just don't know. People take advantage. People are predators that wait for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
So
that's true.
But
you put yourself in a position.
Yes, and it happens to guys too. So just be mindful for everybody. Yeah. Like, and at the end of the day, if you've been through any type of sexual assault or rape or anything, that you survived that. So you're not a victim, you're a survivor, and you're moving, and you're coping with what happened to you, but you're a survivor because you made it.
Yeah.
And you're living, and you got to figure out what allows you to cope with it. And believe it or not, the crazy part about it is talking about it helps because you're not holding it in. And a lot of people hold a lot of stuff in. I know I did it for a very long time, and now I'm really comfortable with talking about it because it helps me. I'm not burdened by keeping it secret and carrying it with myself, you know, because that's a lot. A lot of people do that because they feel like they're too strong to be weak. You're allowed to be. You're going to cry. You're going to go through what you got to go through, and then you're going to be stronger. So you are a survivor. You're not a victim. So, you know, whatever it takes, going to sitting down, talking to somebody, finding somebody you can talk to that's going to listen to you and not judge you, and just getting some understanding of what you went through. You know, and knowing that you're not by yourself. There's many people standing with you. That's why I like the Me Too movement, but I just feel like we have to understand that it's that situation. You can't presume someone's guilty until proven innocent. You have to let the situation play out as they are. If they're guilty, it's going to come out and it's going to be out there. So just don't get caught up in that, and understand that every situation is different, and that some people are using this Me Too movement to just for with ill intentions. So be mindful of that.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So
any last words? Damon?
Sorry about that. Yeah, like you said before, just protect yourself, speak up, speak out. You know, if it happens, you know, just keep talking until somebody listens. You know, you got to protect yourself. And if something else happens, you know, go after the guy like he's, like you will go after him if you're going to protect somebody else. Make sure they don't follow in your footsteps of making the bad. Not saying it's your fault, but making a bad step. You know, sometimes those pitfalls aren't your fault. Sometimes somebody put it there in your place so you can't fall on purpose. So, you know, these predators are out to get with their own. They're out for their benefit, not yours.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
We're about to wrap this show, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I know you guys are going to catch the recap either on SoundCloud, Google Play Music, YouTube, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio. I think I got them all, right? Y'all give out your info.
Well, y'all know what it is.
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, mine is short. Agent D Low at Twitter.
Y'all know y'all can catch me on my blog, AkizTruth.com. Catch me on Instagram, AkizTruth609. Just Google me. I'm everywhere, baby.
Really?
And it's your boy Willie Styles. I'm at Willie Styles everywhere. STYLEZ. WillieStyles.info for all my links. I'm at Willie Styles on everything except for Snapchat. And Willie.Styles. Hit me up.
All right, and guys, before I give you my information, go to our website, gftradioshow.com. We are posting Black History Facts and different people all month long. Tomorrow, our next Faces of Our History will be going up onto the page. I know a lot of people appreciated the first one. Some people learn about people they don't know, and I'm definitely learning while I'm doing it, so that's definitely great for me too. But check that out. Check out our Facebook page because we share on there as well. You can find me at IamSunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Hit me up on my personal blog, unreservedlyme.com. Check us out. We're everywhere, guys. Look us up, GFT Radio. You can find us everywhere. We'll definitely do that. But definitely check out this month for our Black History. We still sitting out a lot of information, so about a lot of people.
That's just 7 days, because next week we're going to get into whether we should be celebrating Black History Month or celebrate Black History every day, the pros and cons of it. So, it's going to get heated next week.
Yes, it's going to be another great discussion, so definitely join us for that. Good night, guys.
Black is blue black.
Holla.
Bye, y'all.
We need to get that man a catch line of something.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Oh, what a great audience. Let's dim the lights for this next one. Nope, too much. There it is. Gotta get things just right. Like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay, and we help you find coverage options that fit your budget. And now, the mood is right. Wait, the lights are back on again. Trudy, can you? And now it's completely dark.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Okay, kids.
We got T-Mobile's unlimited family plan with Netflix included, so...
Our New Year's resolution is to not spoil your shows since we can watch our own shows on our phones, tablets, or TV. Good.
Get 4 lines for just $40 each per month with AutoPay, taxes and fees included, and a Netflix subscription on us, so you can watch your favorite movies and shows. Only with T-Mobile.
Video streams at 480p. A small fraction of customers using over 50 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Netflix for 2 screens included. Terms apply. Price includes sales tax.